conversation session. It's a great news for us that Grow Your Reader Foundation is selected in this prestigious QCT International Youth Week that's hosted by the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. And on behalf of Grow Your Reader Foundation, I, Adila, would like to thank Queen's Commonwealth Trust for giving us the platform to share our thoughts. So thanks to everyone who is attending our session. Also, as the meeting starts now, I would like to mention that this meeting is being recorded as per the QCT guideline. So I hope that's okay with all of you. So thanks again for being here. Firstly, I would like to tell you a few words about Grow Your Reader Foundation. So basically, Grow Your Reader Foundation, it's a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting literacy and fostering a love for reading among children and the families. It established in 2016 and has been working towards addressing the critical issue of illiteracy and its impact on children's education, educational outcomes, and overall development. So Grow Your Reader's mission is always to empower children with the lifelong skills of reading, critical thinking, and also communication. So the topic that was selected for this storytelling and conversation session today is Pages to Possibilities, how reading opens door to learning about everything. And it is brought to you by Grow Your Reader Foundation. So why did we choose this topic? We chose this because this global learning issue is the foundational skill essential for acquiring knowledge, communication, and also critical thinking. I am Adila Karim. I'm working for Grow Your Reader Foundation as a partnership associate. I am dedicated to improving access to education for underprivileged communities. I create partnerships and collaborations that can help achieve the organization's mission. I'm also a Queen's Young Leader. That's about me. So we have a great set of panel for this discussion today. I would want our panel to introduce themselves. Thank you so much for being here. Firstly, we have Sadia Jafrin. She's the founder and CEO of Grow Your Reader Foundation. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Adila. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Adila, for creating such a beautiful space for conversation and storytelling. And today's topic is very, very related. I'm Sadia Jafrin. I am highly excited to be here to share our stories and doing the conversation. So I'm the founder and CEO of Grow Your Reader Foundation. I'm also an Acumen Fellow and also a Queen's Commonwealth Young Leader. So yeah, looking forward to this discussion and hope we all will enjoy together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sadia. Next, we have Khadija Kalam. She is a youth leader. Khadija, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone to this session. I'm Khadija Kalam. I'm currently working as SBCC officer at Serap Bangladesh, and I'm also one of the youth-led ambassadors from Bangladesh. I'm working in the field of sexual and reproductive health and rights, and also comprehensive sexuality education. And also to be added, I'm one of the gold awardee of the Duke of Edinburgh International Award Program. So looking forward to this session today. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Khadija. Next we have Fatima Ononna. She's a youth activist. Fatima, please.
Yeah. Hello, thank you, and good evening, everyone. My name is Sayyida Fatima Ononna. So I'm a youth activist. I'm a Queen's Young Leader, and I'm also a gold awardee of the Duke of Edinburgh International Award Program. Currently, I am pursuing my studies. This is my sophomore year at my university, and I am working with Grow Your Reader as the coordinator, and I help the ambassadors to grow at a professional level. I am also renowned for arranging reading circles in my university campuses, and I also raise funds so that our organization can reach our goals more sincerely. That's all about me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fatima. Next, we have another youth activist, Mariam Atia Azad. Mariam, please.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me and thank you all for attending. My name is Mariam Azad. I'm also, as she mentioned, a youth activist. I'm also a Queen's Commonwealth Young Leader and a Gold, Bronze and Silver awardee of the Duke of Edinburgh International Award Program. I'm currently working at Gloria Reader Foundation as a coordinator. My job is to mainly bring out the best in our volunteers, and I also help in raising funds for all of our projects. So looking forward to this discussion and glad to be here.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mariam. So let's start our discussion. So as I mentioned earlier, that our today's topic is Pages to Possibilities, how reading opens door to learning about everything. So here we'll be talking about the global learning crisis and its impact. So I would like to start with Fatima Ononna. Fatima, could you please tell me what do you think about this context and what is the global scenario of this issue? Can you provide us with some information, please?
Yes. Thank you, Adilapu, for giving me the floor. So I would like to start with a very simple sentence that would make sense to the most of us. So the name of the dog is Puppy. As we all can understand here, we are talking about a dog and its name. So this is a very simple sentence, as we can see, but the scenario is quite like in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and even in Bangladesh. 3 out of 4 third grade students are not able to understand this simple sentence. So the world is facing a learning crisis. And while countries have significantly accessed education, being in school is not actually the same as learning. Although we are being accessible to school, what we learn over there is a matter of discussion ultimately. So most kids in Bangladesh and all the mentioned countries, they enter their young adulthood and they can't even understand a bus schedule. They can't read and follow a doctor's prescription. They can't even calculate a change from a cashier. So this is a daily scenario over there in those countries and also in Bangladesh. So to begin with, I would like to state some facts that would reveal the statistics of the current scenario. So according to the World Bank blogs, 70% of 10-year-old kids belonging from the low and middle income economies, they can't read and understand a basic text, just like the example that I have given you now. So we are terming this as the learning poverty. And if we look at the percentage, this is like more than half of the economy. And this is a very alarming problem. So it doesn't just end here. According to the United Nations, currently it is estimated that globally 6 out of every 10 children suffer from this learning poverty. They cannot read and they cannot understand the simple text by the age of 10. So if we look at the other countries, by the age of 10, children are pretty much advanced and they can do much more than what the children who are suffering with learning poverty cannot do. So if this is not solved soon, I am afraid that this number might increase and our economy would be affected very negatively. And education, as we know, is the center of building human capital. The latest World Bank research shows that the productivity of 56% of the world's children will be less than half, I tell you, less than half of what it could be if they enjoyed complete education in full health. So to end, along with the human capital it generates, it benefits the individuals and societies. So for individuals, education rises our self-esteem and further opportunities for employment and earning as well. And for a country like ours and Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, it helps us strengthen our institutions within our societies and our communities. It also drives the long-term economic growth. It should reduce out the poverty, and it would spur innovation even more. So I think that answers your question. Thank you.
Yes, Fatima, thank you so much. It's actually quite alarming. Thank you. Thank you so much for your insights, Fatima. Let's move on to Mariam. Mariam, as Fatima mentioned about the global scenario, could you please share what is the overall impact of the learning crisis in Bangladesh? What do you think about the impact?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. So as Fatma has already mentioned, these numbers clearly show how much of a negative impact this learning crisis has on our economy. So right after the pandemic in the year 2021, our reports show that over 37 million children in Bangladesh and over 800 million children all over Asia, which includes South Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia, their education has been disrupted due to the closure of the schools because of the COVID-19 pandemic, starting from the early 2020s. So believe it or not, this effect is actually still accumulating. So give me 1 second. Yes, sorry for the intrusion. So as I was saying that this effect is actually still accumulating, this disruptor of this education. So even though going to the primary schools is actually free in our country, and the government does provide these schools with the necessary textbooks, about 4.3 million kids in our country, aging from 6 to 15-year-olds, they don't actually go to school. So if I were to give like a percentage of our population, which is like 26% of our population, which is 42 million people, they don't actually have the ability to read or write. So even though many kids start school, they actually end up dropping out midway. So which is why we have such a low literacy rate in our country.
Then, Mariam, why do you think that even though the level of enrollment in schools, school is going up, there is still a crisis? Why do you think the children aren't learning?
So to answer your question, I would actually like to cite a report from one of our leading English news daily, Daily Star. So they investigated and they found out that the main problem areas in our country are actually the rural areas. So in these rural areas, it's either that the school aren't in good conditions or it's that the teachers don't do their job properly. So even though our government actually invests a lot to make the teachers very skillful so they can teach more efficiently, they don't do their job properly, and along with that the schools also aren't in good condition. And another reason actually is surprising, but it's actually the parents themselves. So they actually don't believe that the lessons that are taught in the classroom and the lessons taught from the textbook actually have any kind of practical application in their child's life, so such as like acquiring a job. So if they want to have a job, they think that these lessons from the textbooks, they actually don't play a role, which is why they themselves don't want to send their children to school, which is why I believe that we have such a low literacy rate among children as well.
Thank you, Mariam. Yes, I completely agree with you. Thank you so much for your valuable insights. And I'm also really curious to know why our teachers are not so invested to transform their learning at the application level for accelerating student learning outcomes. But I'll get back to this point later. Now I would like to speak to Khadija. Khadija, because you are into field work, you also work for reproductive health system. I'm sure you have many experiences. Could you please share what sort of problems the children or the adults face nowadays?
Okay, thank you. And I would also like to thank Fatima and Mariam for stating the facts. Although we who work for the society, who want to help the society, are nothing more than a dreamer and an achiever sometimes. Now, you all may think that why do I say this? because when we from different organizations go for some research work or seminar, or it could be any training sessions, we go there in preparation for achieving a goal. And our goal is to teach the children or the participants a particular topic, which could be health and hygiene, climate education, problem solving, STEM education, and the list goes on. So uh, when we go there to teach in topic, and it also need to be mentioned that we have to invest a lot of our time and money to develop resources or reading materials for them to receive. And eventually, we do provide them with those reading materials so that they can go through them and spread the word. But the problem here is that maximum of them do not know how to read. So this results in the waste of these resources of investment due to learning poverty. And that's when it struck me with the thought that uh, as they do not know how to read, so how are we going to communicate with them, or how can they continue to share the knowledge? Also, how can we ensure all the goals that we have planned for them to ensure or to achieve? And even are they even learning anything? So I think this is a big issue. We always can plan or develop many training sessions or knowledge sharing events or meetings, but nothing would be worth it if they do not know basic reading. So I believe for them, basic reading should come first, then learning basic skills. So this was what I have gained from my experiences. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khadija, for sharing your experience. I would like to know more from you, actually. But for now, Fatima, what do you think? Why do you think our teachers are not so invested to transfer their learning in their classrooms? And why are they so reluctant to apply the new skills they learn in their teachers' training sessions? Could you please share a few words?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the floor once again. So for that question, I think our teachers are enough privileged to get the technology and all the other privileges, the classroom facilities. So what happens is they are not pretty confident with what they do. They always lag behind because they depend on others for all the data related work, as handling a school is handling a lot of kids altogether. They just rely on somebody else for making them do their work. So the result is not that top notch. Another reason, according to me, is the remuneration that the teachers get, the respect that the teachers get are not up to the mark for them. As per their contribution, they are not getting paid enough or not getting paid that handsomely. So that leads them to create even more scopes for earning. And this is more of a personalized scope that they create by themselves. And I think many of us have already faced them. So here comes the coaching culture. So they just set up a personalized classroom in a remote area or even their homes, where they just call in the students. They try to give the service, but at some point, sometimes they don't even care that what they're teaching the children. They don't have any set up goals. So for that reason, many teachers are reluctant to teach the children in the classroom. So whatever the children had to get from the classroom, to attain that level of education, they have to go to the coaching classes and the private classes. So that's why I think the classrooms are lagging behind and they are not implementing whatever they learn in the teachers training session. So as they don't have the urge to teach the kids ultimately whatever they're learning as teachers, they don't have to pass it on, because nobody is coming to check if the kids are learning or not. And as Mariam said, that the problem is with rural area. since the parents are not very up to date with whatever their kids are doing. They are not applying it in their real life practically. So that's why I think the teachers are not implementing whatever skills they're learning in the sessions.
Sorry, thank you so much, Fatima. Yes, I completely agree with you. And I'm sure everyone in this panel has the same view on today's discussion. And we'll hear more and we'll get to know more about it. But yes, I believe it's crucial for everyone to start by addressing the fundamental challenge, learning how to read, as reading is the key to sharing knowledge. And without it, we can't make a positive difference within any specific community, if I have to mention. And also a very big part, like knowledge transmission, it wouldn't be possible. So before we create a meaningful change for both the children and the adults, we need to ensure they have a solid foundation in the basics of reading. So next, I would like to ask the founder of Grow Your Reader Foundation, Sadia. Sadia, what do you think Grow Your Reader Foundation is doing to solve these problems? And do you think the efforts can create a difference? Kindly share your story, please.
Thank you, Adila. Let me share my screen. Are you watching?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Adila, for giving me the floor. Today I will share our stories that how Grow Your Reader Foundation started its journey and what we are doing to mitigate such a great challenge to make our children read properly. So before that, I would like to share our vision, tagline of Grow Your Reader Foundation is building innate reader to become a leader. So as you notice the two important words, one is reader and the next one is reader. So there is a very crucial relationship among the two words, reader and leaders, because we strongly believe that story has a profound impact on our brain. So during my childhood, I read lots of storybooks alongside my regular curriculum books. And that helped me to shape my perspective. And that story has a huge influence on our beliefs, values, and perspective. It can motivate the transformation of change. It can challenge the societal norms. So when we initiated Grow Your Reader Foundation, we wanted to give our children to the exposure of different kinds of storybooks alongside their regular curriculum to make them a sensible citizen so that they can take the ownership of their own community to change the narratives. And before my story, I want to ask a simple question that could you please read this line, what you can see in the screen? Anybody can answer or write in the chat box.
No.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sure nobody will read because it's a Chakma language. It's a tribal language of Bangladesh. So when a children can't read every language, it can be Bangla, English, Arabic, Urdu, French, German, every language, they have no idea what is in front of them or what is on their books in the page. So every story, every books, everything are useless or worthless to them when they can't read. And as I mentioned that we wanted to give the exposure to our children to read more books, Then we started to install school library in different schools with lots of storybooks. And then we figure out that many of our children couldn't read, and that's why they didn't go to library. And then I realized that without these reading skills, the lots of storybooks, resources, everything would be useless, worthless, and wastage. And then we started to figure out that how can we work on this problem. And currently we are working in three different problems, which is very crucial. One is lack of reading skills, and another is giving access to our children so that they can read more books, those who can read actually. And we found out that those who have reading skills, those who have enough access to these books, somehow they don't have, many of them don't have the reading habits. So currently Grow Your Reader Foundation is working on these three core problems, that lack of reading skills, giving the access, and lack of reading habits. So what we are doing, we developed a reading secrets curriculum. It's a Bangla guideline, so that teachers from government primary schools or from anywhere, or parents, they can teach their children at home or schools that how to read. Because without reading, all the possibilities will be closed, right? So even if a students, those who can read, they can also follow this guideline to teach their friends, classmates, junior or senior. And during the pandemic, when all the schools were closed, so the children didn't have the access to our library stations at the schools. And then we came up with this idea, wow, wheels of wisdom. And during that time, children didn't have, like those who came from the lower economic community, they didn't have the luxury to think about the education, going online to join their online classes, because the longest period for joining the class for a longest period of time, like they didn't have the ability to procure the data, due to their social economic constraint. So we came up with this idea, wow, Wheels of Wisdom. It's a 3-wheeler mobile library with a skill librarian, books and ebooks, and an internet hotspot for children to go online and study. So it's a very small van. Those van can run in the narrow road, muddy road during the rainy season, whatever it is. They can go to doorstep and give the access to the internet access to our children and books, so that they can join online, they can read books from our online library, they can read books from our van directly. So till now we are working in 12 communities. 8,000 books have been borrowed by 12,000 children, and 34,000 out of internet access our children have been used. And after that, when we realized that Wheels of Wisdom has the operation cost, and it's pretty much big, so we came up with another project, Book Garage. It's the street library, but we provide free access to books. We nurture a love for reading and create a reading-friendly environment that promotes empathy and respect for one another. So everybody, like children, adult, they can access book from this Book Garage. And another objective of this Book Garage is to reduce the screen time of our children or adults, so that they can take care of their mental well-being as well. So till now, we have Book Garage in 23 communities having 4,000 books. And we arrange reading circles to encourage children, adult, young people to read, to grow their reading habits. So this is a picture from a school. So here is the head teacher. He was also like observing that how a reading circles like been organized, so that they can organize in regular basis to enhance their children reading habits. So we have another after school program, Schooler Baire Shikha, that means beyond the classroom. So here we teach our children like English basic reading and arithmetic. We teach children basic reading through our Reading Secrets curriculum, and we follow the teaching at the right level trial approach. That means regardless any age or grade. So it's a multi-graded classroom, like from pre-primary class to grade class 5. Students are in the same classroom, and we teach them as they are need. Like if they can't read, we teach them reading. If they can't like counting, we teach them counting. So as you can see in the picture, they are like learning the basic reading. So how we invest our teachers in the classroom, like before entering in our class, we take a diagnostic test to our students to understand their level, that what they are currently what is their current position in the in based on the learning, like maths or English. So we take a diagnostic test. Like here the reading test is happening. We have the tracker system so that students can directly see their level and get motivation to do more for going to the next level. We give them the like positive praising, behavior management, so that they can like, we notice that children from the lower economic communities, they have the very less self-esteem. So it helps them to boost their like confidence as well, so that they can approach very fast and smartly. So we do so many things to engage our students in the classroom. So I can relate to Anonna's statement that teachers are not motivated enough to invest in the classroom. I also feel that sometimes they like learn so many things in their training session, but they don't apply in the classroom because they don't feel very motivated to do such kind of activities and everything in the classroom, though they have all kind of skills, all kind of access. So this is very like challenging for us to make our students learning in the classroom. And most importantly, our teachers go to the classroom without any plan, I mean lesson plan. So they don't have any like fixed objective that after this class our student will, what they will be able to learn. That's why in maximum classroom learning is not happening, though the students are going to school in a regular basis. Our enrollment is very high. And we have another project, Porishuni Dekhi Ichha Moto Shikhi. So it's called differentiation. Everybody have different approach of learning. Some can learn from their best through reading. Some can learn best through like watching video. Some can learn their best through like listening. For example, I like to learn my best through reading and watching. So all our storybooks are available in our YouTube channel as video version, in an audiobook app in audio version, and you can access our books from our online libraries. And our storybooks are based on social emotional learning, climate education, child food and nutrition. So we want to give all kind of like way of learning to our students from every social classes, regardless their economic background. So I want to end my presentation with another story like Momita's mother said that we belong from a very poor family. Still, me and my husband used to work so that we can feed our children and continue their studies. But during the pandemic situation, we have lost our jobs and thus couldn't send her to school anymore. But Momita frequently runs towards the van library and borrows book to read every week. This has kept the light of learning ignited within her still now. So this stories motivates us to like do such thing more and more, so that children can learn, children can have the interest to go back to their schools as well. So thank you. I think I took lots of time. So that's all from my side. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sadia. I think your whatever you have shared, it's a lot. It's a lot, and thanks a lot. It means so much to all of us, to the audience, and I'm sure everyone is appreciating whatever Grow Your Reader Foundation and you are doing. Thank you so much. And so, Sadia, what do you think about Khadija's experience? Like she mentioned, basic reading before any other skills. What do you think about this statement? Could you please say a few words about it?
Thank you. So I think that what Khadija shared, that without reading skill, we can't do transfer any knowledge to our students. Like suppose you have prepared all the lesson plans, workshop plans, or everything, and you have lots of like reading materials, and and we go to the session, and then we realize that children can't read. So without reading, they can't understand that what are in the like folders or like worksheet, or and even you can talk about like STEM, robotics, coding. So many things, but without reading, children won't be like able to like take the actual learning from the workshop as well, or if anything you can discuss in the classroom. And I would like to share story from our after school program. When we started teaching in our school, that we figure out that from pre-primary class to grade 5, they can't read at all, and they can't read a very small English word. And then we started to teach like basic phonics, basic ABCD, with funny song. And then the parents, they like started to complaining that why are you teaching ABCD? My children reads in class 5, reads in class 4, so they can write ABCD, you know. So write ABCD doesn't mean they can read English, or write Kokho doesn't mean they can read Bangla. So that's when we faced like lots of challenges. And I'm sure our school coordinator Amreen is also present here. So Amreen, can you please share that how did you mitigate these challenges? That how did you manage the parents to understand that we should teach them basic ABCD regardless their age, their grade?
Am I audible?
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sariapu, for giving me the chance to share my experiences. So, to solve this problem, we arranged a parents' meeting and asked their children to read their English book. And they saw their children even couldn't read a single word, even if they read in class 4 or 5. Then they realized why we're teaching them A, B, C, D. And our parents are also not so concerned about the learning crisis. They are thinking we are sending our kids to schools and that is enough. But unfortunately, it's not. That is how we are able to convince them practically and overcome from the situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Amrin. So what I am trying to like say that going to school regularly doesn't mean your children is learning. Being classroom doesn't mean that our children or our students is learning. Children come to school for learning, but unfortunately, we or our teachers are not enough like invested, or we don't have the true intention to teach our children the basic reading skill. And it is very important that you have to have the minimum basic skills to unlock your potential. Like without reading, without understanding anything else, you can't understand that what subject you want to pursue in your next grade, or what subject do you like to study, you know. So I think I have answered your question, Adila.
Yes, absolutely. And I believe that it's so alarming that not only the children, also their parents. So they should understand this first. And you're right, only reading ABCD does not mean that you can, you can read sentences. So it's actually a very, very major issue. Thank you so much, Amreen. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. It's a great input for our discussion. And Sadia, thank you so much for all the information you have provided us with. Thank you. And now I would like to ask Khadija. Khadija, do you want to add anything to what Sadia said?
Yes, I agree with Satyapu, and also I would love to share from my experience from the SRH field that whenever I have went for facilitate any training sessions or visited any community-based events, I have found that children and adolescents are struggling with reading the messages that are written on the materials. So even there are also some of them are feeling shy or hesitating to share these facts that they are unable to read, or they're struggling with this thing. So we as we work for increasing awareness in the community, so we have started to figure out other ways to spread the messages, which can be any audiovisual method or any other things, but we can't deny the importance of having reading capabilities for our day-to-day living. So I agree with other speakers here that we should put more emphasis on this fact, that uh, we should put more emphasis on the very beginning of their journey of education. So this was from my part. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely, Khadija. Even though the experiences of, even though all the experiences seem very unreal, but at the end of the day, we all know what matters the most, and that's why we are having this session. So unfortunately, we are at the end of our session, and I hope everyone has enjoyed our storytelling and conversation. And we have two things left in this discussion. So firstly, I would like to request everyone to answer a poll, which will be launched right now, which you can see if you like click on the bottom right of your screen. Sharon, could you please launch the poll? It would just take 2 minutes, and we'd be very thankful if you could take some time and answer it. 2 minutes only. Is everyone done answering the poll? If you are, you can show a thumbs up sign, or you can just message that you're done. Yes, great. Thank you so much, everyone. সবাই কি পোল আনসার করতে পেরেছে? যদি সবার পোল আনসার হয়ে থাকে, প্লিজ একটা থামস আপ সাইন দিবে। Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Before I end this session, I would like to ask Mariam. Mariam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Mariam, do you want to add anything? Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so to sum up the discussion and giving my ending remarks, I would say that I think throughout the discussion we have established a consensus that how fundamental the ability to read is, how important it is, and how it plays a crucial role in one's life and how it enhances a person in every way possible. And we also know now that such a learning crisis, the effect it can have in one's economy. So this is such an important topic that I don't want the discussion to actually end here. I want the discussion to be moved on for the higher ups, for the policymakers, the politicians, the educators, so that they also discuss this topic and they also invest in this topic so that we can see a change, we can see a development in our country's economy and leading to a better life for all of our people. Thank you.
Oh, that's a great ending, Mariam. Thank you. Like you said, it's just the beginning. Thank you so much. So we have one question here in the comment section from Tasnia Ahmed. I'm sorry, we don't have much time, so I'll be asking if anyone is interested to answer the question from the panel. Does mental condition play a role of hindrance in decoding? It's a question from Tasnia Ahmed.
Tasnia, sometimes it's like happens due to like dyslexia. I'm sure you saw the film Tare Zameen Par. So it's another kind of problem that children can't read due to this like disease or like problem. But in general, this is a common phenomenon, like global learning problem, that children are not able to read a single word. So in that case, we can't say that it's a mental condition. It's like general global problem. Am I clear?
Thank you so much, Sadia. And then there is this last question. We will just take another question. It's from Muhammad Sharifur Rahman. And this question is for you, Sadia, that why every child deserves a quality education?
The same question for you, Sharif. Why children don't deserve quality education? Everybody has the right to deserve their best education in the world, right? Regardless their background, socioeconomic strata, everything, because child deserve the best. I'm watching lots of people are raising their hands. Anyone want to ask anything? You can ask. Like we will hear from one person. Niyoti Ritika.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to ask anything?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now I would like everyone, please feel free to turn on your cameras because it's picture time. And because we are at the end of this session, before the closing, I would want to take a group picture with everyone to mark today's event. Sharon?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Could you please, everyone, please feel free to turn on your cameras. Sharon, we have 50 members here today altogether. So is it possible to take a picture?
No, not 50% will be covered. At most, it would be 40.
Okay, no problem. Please. And we all are ready.
Okay. So everyone ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay.
Okay, Sharon, are we done?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Can I add something?
Of course.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Adila because our title of this conversation and storytelling is like Pages to Possibilities. So it's such a beautiful name that it explain everything, like pages to possibilities. Those who can read the books or a page, and those who can, like, after reading the page, those who can able to turn the page with proper understanding, they can unlock their endless potential. So thank you for the title, and we are so honored to be here, and we really hope that this conversation will not end here today. We'll continue to discuss such things so that our leaders, our decision makers can take a look on this problem. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Sadia. Your words mean a lot. So, unfortunately, we are at the end. And on behalf of Queen's Commonwealth Trust and Grow Your Reader Foundation, I would like to thank you all for answering the poll. So finally, we are at the end of our conversation. And all in all, it can be said that we all are on the same page, and we all can agree that in light of the global learning crisis, which was our topic, a significant number of children lack proficient reading abilities, highlighting the essential role of basic reading skills as a foundational priority, even before addressing other fundamental life skills. So in closing, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who joined us today for this inspiring storytelling and conversation session. A special thank you goes out to our esteemed panel members, all of you, whose insights and perspectives have lit up the path towards empowering young minds. And moreover, I would like to express our appreciation to the Queen's Commonwealth Trust for providing us with this exceptional platform during the QCT International Youth Week. It's an honor to be a part of such a prestigious event and to have the opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals and organizations dedicated to shaping a brighter future. As we conclude, let us carry the spirit of today's discussions forward, igniting positive change in our communities. Thank you. Thank you once again for being a part of this gathering today. Together, let's continue to inspire, educate, and empower. Thank you. Thank you.